Let's it go. Well, it's long. Still loading. Okay, I think we're all good to go now. Let's see. All right. Hey everybody. Hey everybody. Happy Wednesday. We back again. My good friend and partner in crime signed up for something at the kids' school, and she won't be joining me this morning. So you just have to listen to my voice, unfortunately, you guys. But I'm gonna do my very best to still give y'all some golden nuggets, some things I'm personally working on to help you have success in your business. And so, first off, and everything, you guys, is I hope y'all learned so much from last week and the week before, and I hope you've been implementing those things into your life on a daily basis. I personally have, and they've been helping me out tremendously with your business. And this call isn't going to be about products, you guys. And our call is never about products. We have amazing calls within our own company that talks about products. This call is designed to help you take some little steps to make you better in your personal business. And so I'm going to take the next 15, 20 minutes and just drop off some golden nuggets. And my topic today, you hear me always come back to this every so often because I think everybody truly, truly needs it. And that is taking action. And I just believe that taking action is the only way that you're going to make the money that you truly desire. I don't care if it's just you want $250 a week, $250 extra a month, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month. It doesn't matter how much money you personally want to generate for you and your family and your legacy that you want to build. But at the end of the day, you have to get comfortable with taking action. Really comfortable / uncomfortable, because sometimes taking action ain't even comfortable. And I was talking with Lance earlier, and just him taking action just on his recovery is very important. See, because he could be like, well, I'm not feeling well. I'm not going to do anything. I'm hurt. I'm just going to lay around. No, Lance said, hey, it feels good to be able to lift myself up and be able to do these little things. See, that's taking action. But now let's transcend that to the business. Now, how do you get that into the business? What little things can you be doing to generate income, to generate activity going on in your business? What things can you do, you guys? How many calls? So I'm going to ask y'all questions because it's the same questions that I ask myself on a daily basis. How many calls are you personally doing today? How many times are you going to pick up the phone, or how many text messages are you can use the Boards app? How many text messages are you sending out to get some interaction going? What are you doing? Like, what are you going to be doing today? Not tomorrow. Oh, I got some calls planned for Friday, for Saturday. No, what today? See, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. When Lance is training, it's days that he don't want to get up and go train. Any athlete would tell you it's days that they don't want to go to practice. I remember it was days I had a hard day the day before. I worked very hard, and I was beat up. And the next day I was like, man, I don't want to go to practice. But I also knew that not going to practice might cost me my spot on the team. It might cost me my spot on the relay, and it wasn't going to make me any better to beat my competitors out there. So every day that you decide to say, you know what, I don't want to do nothing, guess what? It's somebody else out there that's hungry. That may reach out to your aunt. That really may reach out to your sister, your brother, your friend, your old coworker, your old classmate, your old somebody that you were too lazy. Let's be honest, you were too lazy to pick up the phone. This 10,000, I always tell people it's 10,000 pounds because everybody thinks that this is the most heaviest thing in the whole wide world. See, when you don't take action, it's a possibility that you lose out on somebody that's on their hands and knees praying. Well, and I don't have anybody to talk to. Well, go to your local grocery store. How many people can you interact with there? Go to your local coffee shop. How many people can you interact with there? It doesn't matter where you interact with people, but Steve Schwartz is very good at doing this to me, you guys. He's like, I don't want to hear all that baloney. Either you gonna do it or you not. And so my question is, and hey, I ain't pointing fingers because there's been times where I like, yeah, I haven't done it. I haven't talked to anybody. As easy as it is to hit send on a text message, I didn't do it. As easy as it is for me to pick up the phone and say, hey, Sonya, I know it's been a while since we talked, but I ran across something that could possibly help you out. I'm very excited about it. I just want you to take a listen. As easy as that is, I don't do it sometimes. And sometimes I got to get kicked in the butt. Todd reminded me this morning, like, hey, there's a lot of things you can be doing. Jumping on this Zoom may be good. You make you feel good, but this ain't income producing activity. This is something to help you inspire, to keep you motivated, but this ain't going to make you money. This right here will not get you $1. So my question is, again, how many people are you following up with? How many people are you calling today? How many people are you texting? How many appointments do you plan on setting? If your life depended on this, matter of fact, not just your life, a lot of y'all have kids. If your son or daughter's life depended on this opportunity, how many of you wouldn't go to bed tonight till you scheduled 3 appointments for the rest of this week? How many of y'all would just do that? For me, I don't have any kids. So how many appointments would I have to schedule for my family, for that legacy, for my niece, my nephews? See, when it gets more important than just you, see, a lot of y'all will go to work for somebody else because why? You need to make the living. A lot of people are like, well, yeah, that's true. I got to go for Lance. He's in construction. He does his own construction business because he has a family to provide for. But I don't wish this on Lance, but what if that was taken from up under him? What's the plan B? Is his plan B working the way he wanted it to? See, that's when you got to start getting serious with this. Like, is you doing what you're doing going to get you to where you want to go? A lot of y'all don't want to work for nobody else. But you do the bare minimum in your own business, if that, but want these high results. See, and I'm so glad I get to talk to my mentors every day, and they beat me up like a little ball in a little pinball machine, where I just get slung up there, bang, 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 bang. So it's kind of like, so I get beat up all the time about it. But see, for me, that's good because I need that. And so my question is, you guys, what daily action, what income producing activity are you doing today? Don't put it off till tomorrow. Find somebody. Make a goal. Write it down. A lot of us still got more than 12 hours in this day. So you got 12 hours before it becomes midnight. A little bit over 12, 14. In some cases, you may be on the East Coast, you got a little bit less. But what are you going to do the rest of the day? What can you do? And I promise you, if you had that same attitude every single day, and you do that for the next 90 to 120 days, you will see some kind of result. You won't go 120 days, I don't believe, of full-out effort of doing something and won't get any results. You will get some results. It may not be the result that you want, but you will get some. And so I do have some tips that I believe that will help you take the action. And it's just 5 of them that I wrote down that I believe everybody can dive into. And number 1 is you got to always remember your goal and your dream. See, I go back to Lance because it's real easy for me to tie it all back into something with sports. But for Lance, his goal, his dream was to accomplish an Ironman. That's the goal. That's the dream. That's the desire. That's what he wants to do. But then next he had to write down, then he wrote down the goals to accomplish that. Well, I got to do this by this day. You got the monthly goals, the weekly goals, the daily goals. And then, you got the ultimate goal as well, the ultimate goal, to go along with his desire. But then, for instance, like money, a lot of people's like, yeah, I just want to make a lot of money. Okay, well, how much? Steve Schwartz did this to me. He's like, well, how much money you want to make? And I gave him a number. He was like, okay, now you made that much. Well, how much would you have to make on a weekly basis to get there? And so I had to break it down. So what I encourage you to do is write your goal down, then break it down into smaller goals so you can check those off. And then as you start checking them off, we as people, when you can feel that you can check something off and you can get something done, you feel a lot better about it. And so then number 3 is your why. See, you got the desire, you got the dream, you got the goals to go with it. But why are you truly doing it? Because your why will keep you from going to sleep at night. Because you know you got to get it done before you can go to sleep. See, some of y'all do like to sleep more than you like to accomplish your goals. And that's the same thing as I was talking with a lady and she was asking me how she could lose weight. And I gave her some tips. I gave her some easy things. And she's like, but I just love food. And I said, don't take this any disrespect, but you love food more than you want to lose the weight. And that's the same thing in your business. Some of y'all like to sleep and like to party and like to do everything else more than you want to fire your own boss and work for yourself and have that income and take your kids on that dream vacation. Maybe some of y'all are just comfortable. That's your tolerance level. See, you got to remember where your tolerance level is with everything. And I should have probably started off with this to go along with your action, but what are you willing to tolerate? See, some of y'all are okay with where you are because you're okay. Well, the lights are getting paid and it's a blessing there. But some of y'all are all right just being comfortable. So your tolerance level is right here. So what do you have to do to take your tolerance level to up here? Like what does the Tammy Mopleys do? What do the Brent Palmers do? What do the Ty Rowlands and Steve? What is their tolerance level? See, when you talk to Chris Doyle, if it ain't a certain amount of money coming in, he's not happy. See, so what is your tolerance level? See, because when your tolerance level rises, then that's when your attitude towards everything changes. See, some of y'all are all right just making $1,500 a month. I mean, a week or, whatever it may be, or $5,000 a month. Some of y'all are okay with that because the bill's getting paid. You got a little bit extra. But see, when you raise that tolerance level up, you'll stop. And it goes along with your why, because then your why will start pushing you to that next level, you guys. And so, and with your why, I encourage you to break it down till you can't break it down no more. Well, I need to make money to rebuild my house or remodel my house. I mean, why? Well, because I want my family to feel comfortable. Why? Well, because I never want them to have to worry about a leak coming up in the house, something that a pipe busts because it's old. Well, why? Why is that? Because I always want my wife to feel better at home, feel more secure and know that she's always able to put water on her back to bathe herself. Why is that? Because I always want to keep a smile. Why? See, break it down till you can't no more. And then it will really break it down. So you're not just saying, hey, I need to make this amount of money. I need to pay for this college tuition, or I need to do this X, Y, and Z. See, when you break it down to 7 reasons, if you could break it down 7 reasons, trust me, that why will become bigger than you, and you'll really think about it more like, man, I really do need to do this. And so having that why will also help you with your goals and your desire. And then this is something big that I watch a lot of people fail at, and that's making the plan. So you got the desire, you got the dreams, you got your goals. You even know why you're doing it. But now you don't even have a plan. You're just out here, you're just running around. See, when I go back to Lance again, when he had the dream, he had the goals, and he had the reason why he wanted to do it, then he started making a plan. Well, like, this is what I got to do. I know I got to be to work at 7, but I got to wake up at 5. I got to go do this workout beforehand because I got to do another workout later on because this is something different for my body. And so with that plan, it's real easy to go all over the place and say, hey, I'm doing things, but you're really not doing nothing. See, put it on calendar, put it on paper, write it down, have a board, have it all over the place where you can just remember your plan. What is your daily plan? Your daily plan, your weekly plan, your monthly plan. What are those plans for you to get those goals and dreams accomplished? And then tip number 5, tip number 5, I actually have 6. I'm sorry, you guys. Tip number 5 is developing the right attitude. See, now it may be something new for you. Trust me, if you were where you thought you would be right now in your life, you'd be just, hey, these calls wouldn't even kind of be that important because this would be kind of going backwards. But now you're trying to get somewhere. So you got to develop, you're trying to get somewhere you've never been before. See, Lance had never accomplished an Ironman, so he had to develop a different type of attitude than it was just running a marathon. See, some of y'all are used to making $4,000 a month or $3,000 a month, and now you want to make $10,000 a month or $20,000 a month. And guess what? You got to have a different type of attitude. You got to develop a different type of personality to get to there. So go find the people that are doing what you're doing, develop that attitude, see what they're doing. Like, okay, this is how they react to different things. They aren't the person to overreact on everything. Like sometimes they brush things up underneath the rug and they keep on pounding the rock. See, when you develop the right attitude, because your attitude will determine your altitude. Just always remember that. So when your attitude is low and you're not really there, how can you expect to go way up here and your attitude's way down here? It doesn't work like that. I seen Billy jump on. And same thing with a marathon. You got to develop a right attitude to get to that altitude, you guys. You gotta say, hey, I'm going to win and no matter what. I don't care how many people tell me no when I pick up the phone. Let's bring it back to the business. Everybody want to know the keys and the tips to make money here. Well, hey, get rid of thinking of what other people think about. Like what their response is. That doesn't matter. Their response to whatever you offer them, it doesn't matter. Your job is just to present it. Get them to sit down, listen, allow you to present it. Todd tells me this all the time. It doesn't matter how many people we put on the list. It doesn't matter how many people we call. Our job is to get them from there, from a prospect, to sitting down and listen. Prospect, it doesn't matter how I meet them. All that does, it's irrelevant. My job is to get them to sit down and take a listen. Whether they say yes or no, it's not my job to do. That's not my job. I have no control over that. You have no control over that. So quit trying to think everybody you talk to is going to say yes. It's not going to happen. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not going to happen. I'm being very blunt. It's not going to happen. So develop the attitude that you need to have success. And then number 6 is just like how we started off with, is taking action. All this is irrelevant unless you take action. All this is irrelevant unless you pick up the 10,000 pound phone. All of it is irrelevant unless you do the work. It's called network marketing. And unless you do work, you're not going to make money here. Plain and simple. You won't make no money unless you do work. And your work is picking up the phone, scheduling appointments, doing the appointment, doing follow-ups, and repeating the process over and over and over and over and over until you find somebody else that says, hey, Marlene, hey, Billy, hey, Lance, hey, Miss Bernita, hey, Robin, I want to do this with you. Then your job is to teach them to do the same thing that you've been doing. And then while they're not doing something, you still doing the same thing over. I seen Robin on here. And Robin has a very big organization. But guess what Robin does every single month? She's always repeating the process, always pounding the rock on her own. And she's always personally inviting. She's always enrolling. And she's been doing that for years. And that's why she continues to flourish in her business, because she's back to doing the basics every single day, every single week, even when times are hard. Lance started this off when I was talking with him, how I have the strength to get up. Like, again, Lance could have easily said, hey, you know what? I'm hurt. I can just rest. Lance is sitting up. Lance is still trying to get active in his life. See, that is when times are hard, when life is beating you up, when you're getting punched in the face, when it seems like everything, you got 1,000 bricks on your back. That's when you still get up. You still take action. You still show up. You still make the calls over and over and over and over. And I don't care how long you do it. I don't care how many people call you crazy. I don't care how many people tell you you're stupid. You know, like, that doesn't work. How long are you gonna do that? Like, you're not making the big money. You're not at your goal. You're not at the weight. You're not at the weight that you want to be at. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It's gonna be worth it when you get there. Ask somebody who's ever lost a tremendous amount of weight. When they got there, when you talk to Dr. Crystal, it didn't matter. It took her 3 whole years to lose the weight that she was at. She was excited about it. She feels great about it. Ask Billy how it felt when he ran that first marathon. It didn't matter how many days he trained, he sweated, and it was blood, and he was tired. His body ached. And guess what? But when he finished that first marathon, he felt great about it. Ask somebody who made 1,000 calls, didn't get nobody to sign up with them, and they got their first person to say, yes, I'll buy some product for you. I'll start the business with you. See, it doesn't matter how long it takes. See, a lot of people think Aaron Decker's an overnight success. Ask Aaron Decker how it took him 5-6 years to really get his business going. Ask him now, is it worth it though? Ask him now. He's a chairperson 3. The only one in North America, chairperson 3. Ask him how it feels. See, he'll tell you that all those nights when it was rough and it beat him up, it all made a lot of sense. See, you guys, a lot of people see the outcome and they be like, yeah, I want that. But nobody truly wants the work that comes behind it. Nobody wants the pain that comes with it. See, everything in life is going to hit you. And nothing's going to be just handed to you. Nobody's going to wake up and say, hey, Billy, here's $1 million for you. It doesn't work like that. Life isn't a lottery ticket. You got to go out here and you got to go get it. You got to stay up late sometimes. You got to wake up early sometimes. You got to do things you don't want to do. So you guys, I hope y'all got value from this. Hope I wasn't too long. I did mention my partner in crime today. She'll be back with me next week. She had a school event to do this week. But hey, I love you guys, and peace out, and we'll see y'all next week.